Hey guys, we're back, and I want to finally talk about all of the Gothic spoilers that we have now that we know what Ward does. Ward is a new mechanic, as is Evil, and this little blurb here actually tells us about both of them in a nice little tidy text box. So let's jump right in. So Ward, we finally know that Ward is a sort of protective aura, let's say. I think it's going to act like stealth. I think it's going to be like if a unit, it's interesting to note it says unit, so avatars can have ward. If a unit would be damaged, destroyed, or targeted by a spell or ability from your opponent, or a site, if either site or unit would be damaged or targeted, the ward would break instead. Evil minions can't have wards, so that makes sense. A ward is supposed to be, obviously, it's got these little angelic wings up here. Ward is supposed to be something, to do with holy, something to do with the holy, as opposed to the evil side of Gothic. So evil minions, interesting about evil minions only includes demons, monsters, and undead. I thought it was weird that it didn't include spirits, especially since evil presence is an aura we already have that only works with spirits. But it does make sense since there are actually spirits that aren't necessarily evil, like Mother Nature is a spirit. So you couldn't lump, it wouldn't make sense to lump all spirits into the evil category. So I think I'm okay with that. Just kind of a flavor fell with evil presence. Anyway, back to Ward. So this is a crazy, crazy ability. I think it will act like stealth. So like you put a little token on the site or on the minion or avatar, and then that will, you could remove Ward from a minion with something like Babbling Brook or the new Silent Hills card, which we'll go over later, which silences all nearby minions. I think it'll work like that. But just thinking about what all this protects from, all the different spells that this protects from. It protects from Bury, from Poison Nova, Drown, Disintegrate. It protects from Great Famine and Black Plague, because those cards specifically say that a minion dies. It says, like, Great Famine says the largest minion on these on sites affected by the Great Famine dies. Dies is synonymous with destroyed, as the Codex tells us. And so this would protect from Great Famine and Black Plague. It's really crazy. It's actually quite good. Protects from Death Dealer. I don't know. This is gonna be wild. I'm very curious. We don't have a ton of we don't have hardly any spoilers that show us cards that give ward. We have one that steals a ward. We have one. We have an ordinary minion that does grant a ward when it comes into play. But and then there's that's right. There's I think a Samael who will also come into play with ward. But we don't have a whole lot of ward mechanics in our spoiler list here today. You see this one here: Virgin and Prayer, Genesis, Ward, and Allied Minion. So I'm a little curious, like how many effects are there going to be that give ward? Because this is going to be a very powerful effect, very powerful mechanic. And then the fact that demons, monsters, and undead can't have wards, that's a big downside to demons, monsters, and undead. So a poor Dapple Vampire won't be able to be protected by this new mechanic. But anyway, enough about ward. Let's start out with, let's move on to look at these spoilers now that we have. We'll start with the two newest ones. I believe these are two newest ones. Molten Mar. It's an exceptional site, and if you have 2 fire threshold, when it comes into play, you can cast a Hellhounds from your collection to this site. And we'll look at Hellhounds here in a minute. Hellhounds is a 3-power demon. That's what it is. 3-power demon dogs. And they cost 3 mana. So if you meet the threshold, 2 fire Genesis, you may cast this Hellhounds. You have to pay 3 mana. It's kind of like the villages. When a village comes into play, then you can pay 1 to summon a soldier there. So when this comes to play, you can pay 3 basically to summon a Hellhounds. But it actually is a card that takes up a slot in your collection. So collection is another new mechanic in Gothic that we know about now. Each player can bring a 10-card collection to a game. You can't. It's kind of like a sideboard, but you can't sideboard before or after the game. It's kind of like a sideboard that you can use during the game, but only with certain cards. So certain cards will instruct you to pull a card from your collection. And we'll go over a few of those today too. So it's a cool mechanic. It's kind of a way to intertwine sideboarding into the gameplay. So it's interesting. We'll see how that goes and how many cards we'll want to be in our collection, how many cards we'll want to play in our deck that pull from the collection. But if we have space in our collection for, you know, these hellhounds, like for these, I think there's a whole cycle too. There are other sites like this in all the other colors, all the other elements. Then this would be a good card. This would be a good card to play, especially if you're playing fire aggro. This is a good card to have. You'll run out of minions at some point if you're playing against control or even mid-range control, and this site will give you an extra card, an extra minion to put out. And its demon type, its demon subtype could actually be relevant because demons are evil, and will have other evil, other effects that benefit from evil. So, and we actually have one here. This is evil units here have +1 power, so you could play this in your own like evil deck, and like when you play your minion, you can like play the site forward and you can play your minion on it, and now your minion has +1 power, which kind of protects it from protect your unit from firebolts. Maybe you have a 3 power unit or minion, and now this thing is giving it +1 power, so you can defend more efficiently and you can survive more efficiently. You could use this that way, but there is actually a spell that we'll go over a little bit later that uses this card as well. And I think that the majority of the use of this card in the meta is going to be in conjunction with this spell. That the spell is an air spell. It only costs 2 mana, and it allows you to strike a site with your evil minion and then turn that site into a desecrated ground. So the site will still, that spell will not take the site away from your opponent, but it turns it into a desecrated ground so that now your evil minion that's there is +1 power and can attack that site now for +1 damage. Anyway, we'll look at that card a little bit later. So that's desecrated ground. Here is the new skeleton token. Can't move to defend. So this is going to be definitely relevant text. There are many cards that put out skeleton tokens in Gothic that we've already seen, not to mention some that we might not have seen yet. So we'll see how skeleton tokens pan out, swarming the board. I still think we'll go over a lot of these cards, but I mean, I've read all of them a couple of times now, and I feel like, so Druid is on top right now. We all can see that Druid's on top of the meta right now. I feel like nothing is really combating that. Like, I feel like a lot of the cool stuff, like Ward and these skeleton tokens that are going to be swarming the board, and the frog tokens, possibly we have one card that already summons a frog token. These things just die to all the tokens just die to a flipped Bruin, unless you've got something pumping them up. And then Ward, as if you have Ward on your minion, you move in to the range of a flipped Druid, the Druid will end up, the minion will take 1 damage from the site around the Druid because the Druid is flipped, and so then the Ward will just go away immediately. So these abilities are really cool. This ability is cool, this new mechanic is cool, and all these tokens are cool, but I don't think that they hurt Druid at all. I feel like Druid's actually positioned really well to combat the new cards in Gothic. So anyway, I digress. Moving on to Lesser Blood Demon here. Lesser Blood Demon is 2 mana for 3 power. It's an ordinary demon with a genesis of lose 2 life. So yeah, that sucks. Losing 2 life really sucks. 2 mana for 3 power. It's a good rate, and it is a demon. If we have, things that pump demons, ways for demons to work together, this could be relevant. But losing 2 life on an ordinary minion, if you've got your deck full of these minions, this is not the only minion that comes into play and makes you lose life. There are others, and if you have your deck full of these demons that make you lose life, you are going to lose that game. You start out with more power and with the aggression, but as soon as your opponent cleans up your board, it puts up a good defense, like some unicorns or some cats, some lugbug cats. Now all of a sudden, you've taken probably 4 to 10 life, from playing your own minions, and you're kind of up the creek without a paddle. I think we're gonna have to see how this pans out. There's a lot of stuff that makes you lose life or take damage. It makes me wonder if there's going to be some sort of something that benefits you, for in Magic. There's some things like that when you lose life, it's a good thing, so I'm wondering if maybe there's something coming, I'm not sure. But moving on, Corruptor Freak. Corruptor Freak is 3 mana for 3 power. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to this site. So another demon that deals damage, you're going to take the damage first, again. But it is cool, like once it gets onto your opponent's sites, at the end of each turn, it's dealing 2 damage. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I think I definitely like this kind of design, better than the Lesser Blood Demon design. Because this one makes you lose life and then doesn't do anything to your opponent. I mean, it does kind of, because you have like higher power rate for the cost, over the cost. But I think this is a bit more interesting to me. Like you can build around this a little more and have fun with it. We'll see how it pans out. But also, I mean, it's an exceptional demon. We'll have to see what the benefits are of playing with demons and then playing together. And there's some stuff here that we'll talk about as we go further. So the next one here is 4 mana, 2 power threshold with only 3 power. I hate 4 mana 3 power stuff. It's just 4 mana is just like 4 mana is at that cost where it's just like, oh man, at 4 mana, your opponent's playing a Pudge Butcher and you're playing Flayer 3 power. I don't know. I mean, this is fire. It's not earth, but still, 4 mana for 3 power is just notoriously not very playable. We have a couple of fire minions that are already pretty good, like the Basilisk. He's 4 mana 3 power. We have the Harpies. They're 4 mana 3 power, and they have good abilities. This one just comes into play and deals 1 damage to each other nearby unit. I think if Harpies and Basilisks don't get played, I don't think this thing is getting played. I think this is a limited card, specifically. That's what this is. We have a new avatar, Necromancer, that you may have heard of or seen, that puts out a lot of tokens every turn, and it's one of the precon decks too. I think this card is to combat that in a precon environment or in a limited environment like draft or sealed. That's what this is. So which is good, draft and sealed. It's this would be a good card to play. Like I would definitely draft this card. Asmodius, 5 mana, triple fire threshold, 3 power. A unique demon explodes onto the scene. So it has stealth. So the 3 power isn't as bad, but it still gets lightning bolted. Like lightning bolt kills it pretty easily. It has stealth. Break stealth does it. So this is the cost for this. Destroy everything else here, including this site. So the cost is to break stealth, which is it would look like you just removing the stealth token. And no longer has stealth now. If you break stealth, you can destroy everything else here, meaning wherever it is currently sitting, including this site. So obviously you wouldn't want to do this when you play it on your own site, unless it was a last resort. Your opponent had maybe some giant minion on your site, and you want to play this and immediately destroy everything else there, including the site. I mean, it's a good ability for sure. You keep the Asmodius. He comes into play. You get to keep him. Like imagine moving onto your opponent's site, destroying their site, and whatever minions they have there. That's pretty darn good. But if you wanted to like play it and then blink it over and then use its ability, that's 7 mana. That's tough. We'll have to see. This is a demon. Maybe we have something that reduces the cost of demons. I don't know. We'll see. We don't have anything yet, but we'll have to see if something comes out. Then this could be maybe more playable. I think it's still good. Like it has stealth. And what deck does it go into? Definitely not an aggro deck. But maybe, some sort of mid-range deck. Maybe there's more effects like this that are coming. And this could just be one more thing, that constantly creates this, attrition in the game, favor and attrition, that you'll have just continuously more resources in your opponent because you're playing spells like this that 2 for 1, 3 for 1 them and keep their mana down. I don't know. We'll have to see. It's a cool card though. But 3 power is tough. Moving on to some earth cards here, we have the Undesirables. This isn't a playable constructed card. This is just, for limited play. You want a big 5 power dude. He has burrowing. Allies can't enter the site. That's so bad. Like you can't play minions to the site. You can't move to help the Undesirables again. In an attack, like if you want to double block or something. If you've attacked forward and you want to try to attack with another minion at the same site from a different direction or something, then you can't do that either. So it's just so bad. It's so I don't like this card. Even in limited, I would want to look for something else. Hopefully there's something else, because this is undesirable. Oh yeah, let me scroll down a little. Yeah, allies can't enter this site. Ugh. Okay, so Virgin and Prayer, we talked about this. 2 mana for 1 power. This is only an ordinary. Only an ordinary immortal of surpassing grace. Genesis, ward, and allied minion here. It's really cool. Ward is really cool. So playing this maybe in a Death Speaker deck might be interesting. So you're paying 2 mana to basically to get like a what's the shield called? I don't even remember the name of it because nobody ever plays it. But you're paying only 2 mana to shield a minion or even your avatar. Warding an avatar, ooh, that could be good too. So I don't like this in any deck other than Death Speaker, because just playing 2 mana just to ward something once, and then you have a 1 power guy left over, or lady. I'm not sure that's worth it, really. I would just rather play a different minion, another minion. But in a Death Speaker deck, if you got 1 or 2 of these in there, and you're playing like a mid-rangey Death Speaker deck, this could be interesting. Like, you get double ward out of it. You get to play it, and then when it dies, you play it again, warding a minion again, another minion, or the same one. That's pretty interesting. Might see this in some Death Speaker decks. Return King, 6 mana, 2 Earth threshold, 3 power again, which is it's in line with King of the Realm, which is it's the king returned. Who killed him though? Who killed him? I didn't know he died. Who killed him? So yeah, he's back. In all his glory, his skeletal glory, and he's an undead. He's a unique undead. Other undead have +1 power. You control all undead. So I'm not a huge fan of this card. Honestly, like even like it would have to the undead deck. There's an undead deck for sure in Gothic. If the undead deck is just everywhere, if it's just absolutely everywhere, and you're guaranteed to play against, 2 or 3 undead decks, in every tournament, then sure, this guy would have a place maybe. But I don't know if I care about him specifically because we have, we'll go over here in a minute, we have already another card that's spoiled, that's called the Undead Knight, and he's only 4 mana for 3 power, so as opposed to 6 mana for 3 power, and he gives all of your undead +1 power. So you're paying 2 more mana to control all undead. 6 mana is a lot. If I'm pumping out undead tokens every turn, skeleton tokens, all that, I don't want to wait until I have 6 mana to give them +1 power. It's just not what I want to do. And if you want to say that this is going to be the 4th Undead Knight, I say play Call of oh my gosh, I can't remember the name. Call of the Mortals. Let me find the name of this card. Now it's going to drive me crazy. So yeah, I say play the card that will fetch an exceptional minion, because the Undead Knight is exceptional. So if you want to play Undead Knight, Call to War, and you want to play a 4th Undead Knight or a 5th Undead Knight, just play Call to War. Call to War lets you search your spellbook for an exceptional mortal, or reveal it and put it in your hand, shelf your spellbook, and then you can grab more Undead Knights. So yeah, I'm not super high on the Return King. I'll have to, I would need some convincing or some sort of other synergy, or like I said, if there were a ton of undead out there, then he would be great. I mean, you do get to take control of the Dapple Vampire, so that's pretty cool. So maybe he's just like an auto-include because Vampire is so prevalent in the meta. If you're playing the Undead deck, yeah, I could see that argument. But if Dapple Vampire is not around for whatever reason, then yeah, I wouldn't like him. I think he's very meta-specific. Thing in the Ice, 3 mana, 2 water threshold, or 6 power. This is a big honking thing. Now this is a unique monster. Genesis, disabled for 3 of your turns, can't be targeted or damaged by magic until the ice melts. So can't be targeted or damaged by magic until the ice melts. So you could target this thing with attackers, or with minion abilities. That's pretty annoying, honestly. I don't know why this is a unique. Thing in the Ice, 3 mana, 6 power. Why is it a unique? It's just not good enough. It's kind of like a. It's like a. Sure, it's like a slightly better like Slumbering Giantess, which is exceptional. But And yeah, you could, play this on top of a root spider in a water deck for whatever reason. I don't know why you'd be playing root spider in a water deck, but you could play this on root spider. You could play this with Silent Hills, which silences nearby minions for the turn. So you play 2 water sites on turn 1 and 2, and then you play Silent Hills on turn 3. And like I said, Silent Hills disables all nearby minions. That's one of the new spoilers. Yeah, but you'd have to have Silent Hills in hand. It is an ordinary card, but we're going up to, well, we have 30 card Atlas. We're going up to 60 card Spellbook. And so you're hoping to have Thing in the Ice in hand with Silent Hills on turn 3. Or maybe there's some other minions that silence on top of the Sisters of Silence we already have. I'm not sure. I personally wish this wasn't a unique. This looks like an elite to me. I'm going to hate drawing this being one of my uniques whenever I open a Gothic box. Moving on to Abyssal Assault. 4 mana, 2 water threshold. Exceptional magic. Tentacular Bombardment. I love this type line. Tentacular Bombardment. For each point of its power, an allied monster may deal 1 damage to a unit in a square near it. So this is really cool specifically because it's in water. It's obviously it's not better than Shatter Strike. It's not better than Grapple Shot or whatever. But because it's in water, we don't really have anything like this in water. For each point of its power, an allied monster may deal 1 damage to a unit in a square near it. So it is cool that it hits a nearby square, and it is cool that you can have a submerged minion and cast this on it. This does not require a target. It just says an allied. It doesn't require a target for either, actually, yeah. It says an allied monster, so you don't have to target your minion. It can be underwater, and your caster can be on the surface. So, like, say you have a big giant kraken underwater. 8 power kraken underwater. Cast this. It can deal 8 damage to a nearby avatar on the surface if you wanted to. That's cool. You don't have to target anything. It actually. Oh wait, to a unit. Oh, it can kill stealth. For each point of its power, an allied monster may deal 1 damage to a unit. Wow, that's cool. I didn't even think about that. I don't know why. I didn't realize. But it doesn't target the unit. This can kill a stealth unit. That's really good. I like that. I hate when somebody plays what's it called? I need to turn my phone down. I hate when someone plays that knight that comes in play stealth, the fire water knight. My brain's not working, but I hate when someone plays a stealth unit and I can't touch it. Especially in water. Like water does have disabling effects like a babbling brook, which can take stealth away from a unit or a minion. But this is really cool. I like that it's exceptional. I like that it's 4 mana too. It shouldn't be less than 4 mana, that's for sure. And it shouldn't be more than 4 mana either. This is a really good card, and it's cool looking too. Like, I'm gonna want to get this in foil for sure. Although it's kind of gross. Look at that thing. What the heck? Yeah, it's pretty gross. But all right, moving on. Slimy Mutants, 5 mana, 4 power, 2 water threshold. Ordinary monsters with far too many teeth. So this has Submerge, and it has an ability here. You can pay 3 mana, transform an ally with Submerge into Slimy Mutants from your hand. This is a really, really cool card in a Prog token deck. If there's a Prog token deck, this is going to be really, really good. You can transform a Prog token. That means it's not a new minion coming into play. It won't be affected by Summoning Sickness if that Prog token was not affected by Summoning Sickness when you activated this ability. Your opponent will see a little 0 power frog, and you then proceed to replace that 0 power frog with a 4 power Slimy Mutants, and maybe you kill one of their minions, maybe you attack them for 4 that turn. It's effectively this becomes a 3 mana 4 power charge minion in water if you obviously transform a frog into it. So that's cool. I like that. I think this might have a place somewhere. It's only ordinary. Jeez. So this is going to be kind of consistent. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. Especially we have a consistent way of getting frog tokens out on turn 1 or 2. This is going to be really, really crazy. Like, imagine turn 1, frog token, turn 2, Lugbog Cat, turn 3, Slimy Mutants with charge. Like, what? So water's gonna be aggro? I don't know, we'll see. That's ordinary. That's pretty surprising. Alright, so 5 mana Regurgitator, 4 power, an elite monster chucks Unsettling Ordnance. Okay. This is pretty nasty. Bunch of naked people coming out of the thing. At the end of your turn, Regurgitator must either fill its empty belly by banishing a dead minion, or empty its full belly by shooting a projectile that deals damage equal to the eaten minion's power. The eaten minion's power. Just say gobbled. At the end of your turn, so you play this thing out, okay? Regurgitator must either fill its empty belly. Okay, so you play it out, you fill it by banishing a dead minion's cemetery. That's good against Death Speaker. Or a Reanimator deck. This would be a crazy card against a Reanimator. So banish the dead minion, fill its empty belly. Then your next turn, you can attack for 4 and then spit out this this projectile that deals more damage. Like, imagine playing this, banishing a 4-power minion, attacking next turn for 4, and then shooting your opponent's avatar for 4 or some other minion for 4. That seems pretty strong. That seems really cool, but it's 5 mana. I think it's good. Water doesn't really have effects like this, you know, ways of compounding damage quickly. So I think I like this. I think it's a monster. It's evil, so you can't ward it. I could see this somewhere. We'll have to see what the rest of the set looks like, obviously, and what this fight's over. Here, right here, actually, we have something it's fighting over. 5 mana, triple water, Lacuna Entity, 4 power. Submerge, Voidwalk. This is an elite monster and escapable invitation. Genesis, drag target weaker minion from an adjacent site to here, ignoring regions. Whoa. Drag target weaker minion from an adjacent site? What the heck? Dude. And it has Submerge and Voidwalk. What the heck, dude? Bro. Yeah, screw the Regurgitator. What the heck? Dude. This is so good. I don't know why I did not, I don't know why this didn't register. You can play this and kill a minion. Very easily. You play it underwater. This will pull something from the surface to this location underwater immediately. But I would rather play it in the void. The fact that it has Voidwalk is busted. What the heck? It's elite. I'm surprised Sting in the Ice is elite or unique, and this is elite. Why is Sting in the Ice unique and this is elite? You play this on Voidwalk next to it like your opponent's site and just suck their unit into the void and kill it. 5 mana, 4 power, kill anything that your opponent has next to the void. Any minion. Let me just read it again to make sure. Genesis, drag target weak. Oh, I'm sorry, weaker minion. That's right. Fine print. Weaker minion from an adjacent site to here, but still, I mean, it starts out with 4 power. Doesn't kill anything. Ignoring regions. Yeah, I still like it, but yeah, I don't know. I forgot about the part about weaker minion. It's pretty good. I'm trying to think of like use cases, and definitely against aggro. This is a really good anti-aggro card in water, so I like to see that. It can protect itself with Submerge. It can kill a thing when it comes in and then block after. Really cool. I like that. So we'll probably see this being played in certain water decks for sure. Shogoth, this is a minion that doesn't really seem good on its face, but it goes with this site down here, Elder Ruins. So Elder Ruins says, sacrifice a minion here, cast a Shogoth submerged here from your collection. So, it's a really cool looking site, by the way. I love this. Who did this? Doug Kovacs, I think? I don't have my glasses on. Shogoth, look at that. Submerged, Voidwalk. So you play this site, sacrifice like a frog token or something like that, and then you get to oh wait, you have to cast it? Oh, never mind. Yeah, I keep missing the fine print there. This says cast, so you're gonna have to pay 6 mana. You have to sacrifice a minion and pay 6 mana? I don't like that. I don't know why you have to sacrifice a minion then. So, okay, I was a little bit higher on this card, this little combo, but if you have to pay the mana, which it seems like you do, it says cast, and usually when it says cast, you have to pay the mana. It doesn't say summon, so you have to pay 6 mana and sacrifice a minion. I don't know, maybe in like a more... I can't even think of a deck that would want this, honestly. I play water often, and I don't think I'd play this card. I'd rather just play with Leviathan Island, something like that. Honestly, I might even rather play with a river. I'm not sure about this one now. Kind of sucks. But I guess if you're playing a mono water deck and you don't have card draw, then it's nice. So yeah, maybe a specific type of deck, specific type of big water deck that isn't playing hardly any card draw, or just zero card draw. All right, so Haystack. This is a site that we've seen being talked about quite a bit. This is a promo card on the Dust Store. They said they were going to restock this. I haven't heard anything about that yet, though. Maybe it gets restocked by the time this video comes out. Haystack, opponent's deck searches are limited to the top 3 cards. So it's really cool that it only affects your opponent. I like that a lot. But honestly, I don't think anyone's going to be playing Common Sense anymore when Gothic comes out because of the Toolbox card. And we'll talk about that later too. 7 mana, triple air, Draconian Bonekite. 7 power. So this is a unique undead dragon, risen in ruin. Airborne, tap, deal 3 damage to each other unit at target nearby location. Summon a skeleton token there for each unit that died. 3 damage just isn't that much. So you're probably not killing multiple units. You might kill 1, but I'm not a big fan of this card. 7 mana for 7 is good in air. But I mean, we have stuff like the Sky Baron, 6 mana for 6. He's hardly ever played. I don't think that this is better than the new the dragon from Dragonlord. Add an item. I don't think it's better than that. So I don't think this card is going to see much play. I'm going to hate opening this as unique. I think in my Gothic boxes. So that's a shame. Deal 3 damage to each other unit at target nearby location. Summon a skeleton token there. If this did not require it to tap to do that, then we'd be in business. But 7 mana, 7 power, like the power doesn't really matter. Like if we're looking at just the ability, like are you ever tapping this to use this ability instead of just attacking? Like, I don't think so. I think this is a bummer here. So, 3 mana, Undead Ambush, exceptional magic of Grave Surprise. Summon a skeleton token to each other side adjacent to target enemy. I do like this card. This is exceptional too. Wow. Undead Ambush, exceptional. Summon a skeleton token to each other. That's pretty good. I like this a lot. A lot of times you'll get 4 minions. Summon a skeleton token to each other side adjacent to target enemy. A lot of times you're going to get 3 to 4 minions out of this for only 3 mana. That seems pretty good to me. Especially in an undead deck, this is probably just going to be an auto-include. I don't see why it wouldn't be. The only deck that it wouldn't be amazing against, it would be like a, if you're playing against a heavy control deck that didn't play sites next to its avatar, which almost never happens. Usually when people play control decks, they do have sites on either side of them. So even if all you got was 3 minions out of this, I mean, 3 minions is really good. I would say even if you only got 2 minions out of it, I don't know, in the undead deck, that's pretty good. But obviously, getting 3 or 4 would be ideal. 4 is just honestly crazy. 3 mana for 4 different minions? It just seems really good. This card is definitely going to see a lot of play. 6 mana, here we go. Those Who Linger. This is a creepy card. Look at this. That's so freaking creepy. What is going on here? What's that one doing? What's it eating? Hair? I can't tell it's eating. I hope that's not his own intestines. That's kind of what it looks like, honestly. Gross. But there's a pot here, so maybe it's like a pot of snakes. I don't know. Those Who Linger. A dwindling host of exceptional undead. Deathrite. Summon a ghoul from your collection to this site. It has Deathrite. Summon a skeleton token to this site. So this is kind of a cool card. It's 6 mana, which is a lot. But you get a 4 power guy, then when it dies you get a 3 power ghoul. Then when that dies you get a 1 power skeleton. I like this card, and the reason why is because it keeps coming back. Like and I think that it could be useful. It could be very useful in decks that want to stall or just always have minions out on the board. This could be interesting maybe in a deck that uses Unlikely Alliance, which wants multiple different rarities and minions on the board. This thing is exceptional. Then I think the ghoul is ordinary and the skeleton is ordinary. Yeah, I like this card. I think for limited, this is really like very, very good. In limited, because you just continue, you get 3 minions out of this thing. So for 6 mana, you get a total of 8 power across 3 different minions. I think that's good. And like I said, I could see this seeing play in constructed in a specific deck, a very specific deck that wants to just keep putting out like blockers or something like that. You know, not an aggressive deck, but something that wants some sort of sustainability maybe. Stygian Archers, 3 mana, 3 power, double air threshold. These are exceptional undead with rot-fletched arrows. Gross. I don't want to get hit by rot-fletched arrows. Although those arrows don't really look very rotted. Rot-fletched. Rot-fletched, yeah. So maybe they got some rot. I don't know what rot. Ranged. Whenever Stygian Archers kill an enemy, summon a skeleton token where it died. That's pretty cool. I like that. This is a really good limited card. I got an extremely good limited card. Whenever Stygian Archers kill an enemy, summon a skeleton token where it died. Yeah, I mean, this probably goes into the undead deck. Or, I mean, it definitely does. We don't have enough undead for it not to, I think. And it's ranged, so... Like, when you play this out, if you have an undead knight out that gives it +1 power, or anything, you know, like, that gives it +1 power, then that's cool. Like, I was also, yeah, actually thinking about Desecrated Ground. This would be a good card to play on top of Desecrated Ground in like an air earth deck. And so then this is 4 power ranged with 3 mana, and then you're just shooting and creating skeleton tokens. That's pretty cool. I think this card will see play. Whether or not it'll rise to the top, I don't know. It's too early to tell. But for sure, people are going to try to make this card good. Make this card go! A sold-out cemetery. This elite site accepts no new customers. This is an air site. Whenever undead enter the site, push another undead here away 1 step. So, this is elite? I was going to say, like, it could work well with, like, Necromancer. It's always pumping out tokens. Because you pump out a new token, it pushes the other one forward. But it's elite, so you're almost never going to have it out on turn 1. So, whenever undead enter the site, push another undead here 1 step away. Yeah, I don't really like it. I don't think it's going to see any play. I'd rather have a tower most of the time. Just pushing undead. Like, I think it'd have a very, very, very specific use case. It shouldn't have been elite. I think I would have preferred this to be ordinary, honestly. It's just not good enough for elite. So, Bone Jumble. 1 mana, 1 power, charge. Pay 1, sacrifice a skeleton token, summon Bone Jumble from your cemetery there. This is good in limited, for sure. Is it great in limited? I don't think so. I mean, it could be. You would have to be playing with Necromancer for it to be useful. Without Necromancer, I would not play this card. And in Constructed, I don't think I'd play this card at all. It is interesting though. It does have the utility of like coming in with charge. Excuse me. Maybe you want charge. You want to like guaranteed strike something often because of something, maybe an artifact or something that will come out. It could be useful like in a specific, situation, but in a vacuum is a bad card. I think not very good. Pith Amp. I'm excited about Pith Amp. I like this card a lot, and I like the artwork. It's really cool. Pith Amp, 2 mana, 1 power. This one has Airborne, which is cool. It's ordinary. Genesis steals a random spell from your opponent's hand until it leaves the realm. And when it steals the card, I believe it's going to be revealing the card. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be revealing the card. So you get to peek at the card, this random spell from your opponent's hand, and it gets to hold on to it while you are doing your business as long as it survives. So, yeah, I like this card. I think it definitely goes into a specific like tempo-y air aggro deck, something like that, So I like that. It's sweet. I could see it going into a deck that wants to just continually control the way, like you would want to play this in a deck that wants to continually control the way your opponent plays. And to potentially protect other units that you don't want removed. Because like your opponent has to remove this. Like you can play this on the back row or something, like somewhere protected. If your opponent wants the card back that it has, they would need to kill this. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Thinking about it with a Genesis effect on like Death Speaker, I think it's cool. You could recast it from the cemetery just to get a peek at your opponent's hand. I think that's pretty sweet. So this could have some uses. I'm excited about it. I think I'll play with it at some point. 3 mana monster Morphosis. Exceptional magic of Vile Evolution. Disable target nearby minion until your next turn. At the start of that turn, you may transform it into a monster from your hand or a horrible hybrids from your collection. So this is kind of a cool card because I like cards like this because you can use them on your opponent's minions. So if your opponent has like some big thing that's annoying you, there are going to be a lot more unique minions coming out in Gothic. Maybe there's just like a ton of unique, like boss minions, and you'll want to get rid of them, even if it means replacing it with a 3-power dude that your opponent can then attack you with. So there's that. And then I don't think that you would play it like without synergy in your own deck. But just the fact that you could use it, for that other scenario is good. It's really good. It adds to its value and makes it more playable. So disable target nearby minion until your next turn. Yeah, I think I forgot to read the text. Disable target nearby minion until your next turn. So that's another, positive. At the start of that turn, you may transform it into a monster from your hand or horrible hybrids from your collection. I did read this already. I'm getting tired. It's very late. Disabling the minion is really good too until your next turn. So I love that. This is a very playable card. And if you're already in the water monster deck, which there are plenty of monsters to be in a water monster deck, and you're playing frogs, definitely water monster deck plays frogs. Then I think that this is pretty cool, pretty good. So it's exceptional. Oh yeah, it's exceptional. That's really good. And the fact that you can disable it, so you can use it against your opponent, you can use it to promote your own position. This is a good card. It's growing on me the more I think about it. I definitely want to try this card out. And I could sit here talking about it, I think, for another 10 minutes. So I'm going to move on. 5 mana, Frozen Horror, 2 air, Water Threshold, 3 power, Boo, Stealth. Okay, so this is kind of like in the same cycle as Asmodius. But this is exceptional. It's not unique. Exceptional, Undead, Chills, Thought, and Thu. I don't know that word, Thu. Break Stealth. Disable other nearby minions until your next turn. I don't know. I guess if the ward deck was really popular, this would get rid of their ward. Yeah, gets rid of stealth. You have to break stealth, and then you're just left with a 3-power Frozen Horror Undead. It is Undead. Might be relevant. I don't know about this one. This is very meta-specific. We're gonna have to wait and see. That's the old wait and see. 5 mana for 3 power though, just to break stealth or like disable things for a turn. I don't know, man. Here's the Horrible Hybrids. 3 mana for 3 power. Just vanilla minion. Awesome artwork from Ian Miller. Return to Nature. 2 mana. Ordinary magic preserves the natural order. Return up to 3 cards from a cemetery to the bottom of their decks. Draw a spell. Really, really cool cantrip here. A really cool card that will help you against Archimago, if you're playing against Archimago, or Death Speaker. So I like this card. It's a cool little cantrip. I think that if you're playing water, you just want one in your deck. Especially if you're playing like Water Earth, which I think people will be playing Water Earth when Gothic comes out. You're going to want one of these in your deck that you can like... I was going to say Common Sense for, but honestly, I don't think we're playing... maybe you play 1 Common Sense in addition to 3 toolboxes. But I guess you can put this in your collection and just grab a toolbox. But honestly, because it draws a card, you just put it in your main deck. So really cool card. I love this card. Return to Nature. If it didn't draw a spell, I'd be totally, so against it. The fact that it draws a spell just makes it 10 times more playable, and it's awesome. 7 mana, 6 power, Dormant Monstrosity. An elite monster in Cosmic Reverie. Oh man, that's cool. This is gonna look awesome in foil, I think. Voidwalk. Must be cast or corner void, costing 2 less for each unit in an adjacent square. So cool card. I don't think this is going to see much play. Yeah, there's the water monster deck, but you're using your frogs to do things, like summon other minions, monster morphosis into something else, blah, blah, blah. I don't think this card is going to see play. Must cast a corner void costing 2 less for each unit in adjacent square. Interestingly enough, like it doesn't have to be your own allied unit. It could be an enemy unit, so you can cast it to your opponent's corner. But it's just not common enough that there are minions next to a corner void. It just rarely happens at all. So I don't think this card is playable personally. Heretics of Seth. Genesis, steal a nearby ward. Now this card is definitely going to be playable if the ward deck, if there is a ward deck, if the ward deck is very popular, super popular. Heretics of Seth, 3 for 3, very solid rate. Definitely a great limited card. Genesis, steal a nearby ward. It's really cool because it takes the ward away from your opponent and then gives it to itself. So now it can survive an instance of damage or destruction. Really, really good card if it's against ward. But yeah, would you just play it in constructed if ward decks were just here or there but not dominating? I don't think so. It's exceptional. It's not ordinary. I wish it was ordinary, honestly. That would be cool. But as an exceptional card, maybe there's if there's like some sort of like ward engine, like something that like generates ward regularly, and then like you have a water ward deck or something, and then when you play this, it could just take it from this thing that generates it over and over. Then yeah, it'll see play. 6 mana, Hearkening Kraken, 5 power. Exceptional monster, all arms and ears. Submerge must be cast Submerge and cost 1 less for each enemy in its body water. This is a terrible card. I wouldn't play that. And the reason being is that you have to have enemies in your body of water. It has to be cast Submerged. It's just not good. Gnarled Wendigo. Oh, this is good and limited. Let me see. It's good and limited because there are probably going to be a lot of tokens flying around in limited, like skeleton tokens. And I think it'll be decent and limited. It still has to be cast Submerged. And that's so annoying because you can't block. Like, your opponent has. Say that your opponent does have all of these tokens in your water. Because it has to be cast Submerged, like, sure, maybe you cast it for only 2 mana. But now it can't block any of those tokens because they'll just attack somewhere else. So then it has to come up, and then it's vulnerable, and then it gets sent out the next turn. So, I don't know, man. Honestly, even in limited, I'd be afraid of this card. Just doesn't cut it. 6 mana, 5 power, Gnarled Wendigo. An exceptional monster, speak not its name. Oh, actually, stepping back here, thinking about frogs. Like, if there are a ton of frogs that are coming out early. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm sorry, it's enemy. Never mind. 6 mana, Gnarled Wendigo, 5 power. This costs 2 less to cast for each minion you sacrifice at its summoning location. So this is yet another card vying over the use of maybe frog tokens. Or skeleton tokens. You know, maybe you have an air water deck with skeleton tokens and cards like this. That could be cool. This costs 2 less to cast for each minion you sacrifice at its summoning location. Yeah. Like, imagine playing Necromancer, turn 1 skeleton, turn 2 skeleton. Yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to do it on turn 3 unless you have like a tower. You could though. Turn 1 skeleton, turn 2 skeleton, turn 3 tower. Sacrifice the 2 skeletons to get the 5. Power guy out? Is that worth it? I don't know. Limited. I could see it being played in limited. In constructed at 6 mana. Gets 2 less against for each minion you sacrifice. Yeah, you'd be in a token deck. Like, even if you're only casting it for 4 mana for a 5 power guy, yes, that is cool. But again, it's taken up one of your tokens, your precious tokens. And I don't know. Like, we'll have to see how that works out. But yeah. And actually thinking about Monster Morphosis, this card, I mean, you have to spin this card to then turn one of your dudes, one of your little frogs, into something big. If you're doing that, if you're turning it into a monster from your hand, then you're spending 2 cards to get that monster. That's not really good, especially in water. Now, if you're using it to turn into a horrible hybrids from your collection, that's not good either. You're paying 3 mana to ditch a frog and get a 3 power thing. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, thinking about this again, because you have to spend 2 cards to get the monster. And then they can just remove the monster. They can take control of it even with Mesmerism or with Infiltrate or twist it up in the air, Chaos Twister. Yeah, I don't know about this anymore. I do like that you can use it against your opponent, but I don't know. It's a bit. It costs a lot. Like it's not like Shapeshift. Shapeshift, use the card and then you flip a minion off the top of your library. Shapeshift is just much better. You transform one of your minions into something off the top of your library. I don't think this card is half as good as Shapeshift is. So, not sure about that one anymore. Moving on to, okay, we have Swap. Everybody knows what Swap does. Amazing card. It's already being played at tournaments and in the online league. This card you will definitely see throughout Gothic's time in the spotlight. Gift of the Frog. So here's a card that we talked about. Summon a frog token to another ally. Draw a spell. Oh, to another ally. I mean, you get to draw a spell off of it, and you get the frog token. That's good, but it's to another ally, so you can't summon it to your avatar. You already have to have something out. Well, that's not as good as I thought. I didn't read it closely enough. But, I mean, it goes into a frog deck. There is a frog deck, for sure. But that sucks that there's that stipulation. You probably won't be able to do it on turn 2 oftentimes. So, see how that pans out. See if it's too slow. Drowned, 2 mana, 3 power, Submerge. Must be cast Submerged. It is undead. That's pretty interesting, actually, that it's undead. I think that would be the only thing that would make it playable. Maybe in like an Earth Water undead deck. Other than that, you just wouldn't play it. The fact that it has to be cast Submerged is not good. Not good enough. The new Awakened Mummies type thing. 10-ton Slug, 7 mana for 7 power. This is just a limited card. You want to grab a big 7 power dude to play in your water deck and limited. There you go. Have at it. Assimilator Snail. 4 mana, 0 power. An elite monster rots inside a corpse's shell. Such a cool typeline text. Once on your turn, you may banish a dead minion. Assimilator Snail becomes a copy of that minion until your next turn. So this is a really cool card. Being able to play it and then banish a minion out of a cemetery and it becomes a copy is cool. But it sucks that it's, you miss out on the Genesis effect of the minion. So it's okay. Maybe, like, does it take the place of Simulacrum? Simulacrum is not even played that often. Would this take the place of Simulacrum? No, it does. It wouldn't in my book. I would rather have Simulacrum. Would this be an addition to Simulacrum? Maybe. It is a monster. Once you're trying to banish a dead minion, Simulator Snail becomes a copy of that minion. You're going to run out of minions maybe to banish too. So I don't think so. I think Simulacrum is better because you can just copy a minion that's out. And so it's kind of like an answer to like if your opponent has a threat out, then you can play this card and then now you've got a copy of the same threat. I like that better. So I think Simulacrum is just like straight up better than this card. So most likely Assimilator Snail will see very, very limited play. And not limited like in limited. I don't think this is good in limited. I wouldn't play this in... I would not play this in draft or sealed. But yeah, maybe like a one-of in a specific deck. Like definitely a deck that's discarding cards, like a Reanimator deck. A very specific use case. Ano. A unique mortal, the last one alive. At the end of your turn, Ano may take 1 step between the top and bottom edges of the realm to gain stealth. This is an actually really cool card. Like, you play it, end of turn, it goes over to your opponent's side and gains stealth. That's just awesome. I do like that a lot. You can do, maybe there's some shenanigans, you can do in water, like having their stealth over in your opponent's face is really cool. Thinking of something like Grim Geisarm is really cool. She's only 3 power, but it's still, stealth is really powerful. And being able to play her and then push her over like that, I like that a lot. And then you can attack with her for stealth, get a free attack, and then at the end of your turn, you can take a step the other direction back to your side and give it stealth again, and just attack with stealth every turn. I mean, Sly Fox wasn't played, but that was only 1 power. This is 3 power. So this is just like this is straight up a better Phase Assassin. Phase Assassin gets played all the time. I think this is just a better Phase Assassin. It's not as resilient as Phase Assassin. It, because it's not in the void, it can avoid, it can get killed, by a lightning bolt. But I still think it's better than Phase Assassin because it continually gets stealth. I think it's just obviously better. So, and it's in water. So really, really cool card for water, I think. Genesis, this is Vast Desert. It's another desert. Deal 1 damage to minions at the top of a nearby site. Sphinx Sarcophagus. This is a cool artwork. An elite site recites a riddle of rhyme. I love Sphinx riddles in video games, by the way. Like, I'm a huge sucker for that. That was so awesome. Recently, I played Dragon's Dogma 2, and it had a crazy Sphinx in the game that gave you riddles. Like, look up Dragon's Dogma 2 Sphinx riddles. Like, a wild-looking Sphinx in that game. Like, the coolest-looking Sphinx I've ever seen. Giving you riddles. That was awesome. Sphinx Sarcophagus. Genesis banished 2 identical spells from cemeteries to draw a spell. So I personally, I'm not high on this card at all. It's not super common that there are 2 identical spells in cemeteries. It's an elite site. Like, you definitely won't have 2 identical spells in cemeteries anytime in the first 5 turns. Like, almost never. I mean, it happens, but it's very rare. Like, it's nothing to rely on. So a lot of times this card is just gonna be a dead card that doesn't give you any threshold. I think this should have given threshold. Without giving threshold, this card is only going to be good if you draw it late game most of the time. And yeah, I just would not play this card ever. I don't even play Wizard's Den, honestly, because threshold is so important. And I like playing 2 and 3 color decks just because I have more fun with them. But yeah, I would not play this card. I don't think this card is going to see much play. Open Mausoleum, an ordinary site. Genesis, you may pay 1 to summon a skeleton token here. So this is cool. I like this a lot. This is just like a village for air. So really sweet site. It's ordinary, perfect. And I'm wondering, actually, do we get to play with these sites? Will we get to choose these sites for limited? I wonder. That would be crazy. That'd be cool. Maybe that'd be awesome. I hate playing with the do nothing sites, and that we got in AL. I don't like that. Maybe we won't get to play with these. Maybe we have to still play with the bland ones. It's still cool. Like, you'll get to... Yeah, we'll probably just have to play with the do-nothing sites. The vanilla sites. But you can draft these. You know, these are good draft sites. Open Grave. You may summon summon a skeleton here. Again, you pay 1 to summon a skeleton. This is just like Gothic's version of the village for Earth. River of Blood. All healing is halved, rounded down. Really cool. Completely nerfs Angel's Egg. Angel's Egg won't give you any life because it rounds down. This is stacked too. So this stacks. If you have 2 of these out, 2 Rivers of Blood, Divine Healing will only heal 1 life. That's really cool. So that's going to see play for sure. Defiler Spire, a unique site. Really awesome unique site by David O'Connor. This artwork actually reminds me of... oh man, I forgot the artist. The guy that does Tournament Grounds. That did Tournament Grounds in Arthurian Legends. I forget his name. Now I want to look it up. That artwork kind of reminds me of that dude's artwork. Let me find out who he is so I can name him, because I love this guy. Rodney Matthews. Look up Rodney Matthews. This artwork here kind of reminds me of that a little bit. A unique site, Heart of the Infestation. Sites occupied by evil have, at the end of your turn, you lose 1 life. It's unique. Why? Why is it unique? I don't know why this is unique. Cool looking card, but I don't think this is going to see much play. During your turn, you lose 1 life. It's just like an anti-evil site. Sites occupied by evil have, at the end of your turn, you lose 1 life. Again, unless there's something that, you know, we want to lose life for something, then cool. Yes, you can use this against your opponent. You can attack them with all of your skeleton tokens, and then they lose life. But this thing is going to hit you first. Every time you play a skeleton token, anytime you put out tokens. Oh, you know what though? There were some of those cards that were putting tokens out on your opponent's sites, like that magic that puts a token out in like each other adjacent square. So that's pretty cool, actually. With that card, this is good. So yeah, this actually, this might see a lot of play if there is a whole lot of skeleton, if there is a whole lot of undead decks out there, because this would work well against the undead deck. But the problem is they're probably playing the same spells as you, and if both of you get this side out, now both of you are losing 2 life for each side that has evil on it. That's gonna be crazy. So yeah, this site will definitely see play. I'm just curious, like, is it gonna be best against Undead, or is it gonna be best for the Undead deck? Yeah, this is crazy. It's kind of a toss-up. Mudslide, such a cool artwork. I love this card. Exceptional side of Slippery Sludge. Genesis, slide all units at land sides in this column, one step left or right. It's not really worth playing, I don't think. I mean, okay, using it on your own units, it could be good. If it slid forward and back, then we're in business. But side to side, it's very specific. Like it's not often that you're gonna play it and then look at the column and then slide sideways. But for your own stuff, like if you want to rearrange your own minions, hey, look, it's the black cat. It's the it's the lugbug cat. For your own minions, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. What's going on with this lady? She was like, still has her pillow or something. Or maybe she's on a painting. I can't tell. We'll have to see about this one. This is a weird. Like, I think I'd rather just play Undertow. If I'm already in water, I'd rather play Undertow if I'm using it for my own units. I have to assume that this is primarily meant to use it against your opponent for whatever reason, but side to side is just not that helpful. It can't force anything into the void, so I don't think this card will see a whole lot of play. Silent Hills, here we go. We were talking about this earlier. Not even a whisper. This ordinary sight. Genesis, until your next turn, minions are silenced while atop nearby sites. This is a very useful card. That's all I got to say about that. It'll be used. Darkest Dungeon, Genesis. The next time an ally strikes an avatar this turn, drag both here. I can't remember if there's more text past this, actually. Genesis, the next time an ally strikes an avatar this turn, drag both here. Yeah, I think it looks like there's more text. But I've forgotten it. I think I saw somebody. Maybe they typed it up somewhere. But yeah, this is a cool... Maybe it says and they fight. That would be crazy. Next time an ally strikes an avatar this turn, drag both here. I don't know. I forgot to look that up to see if I can figure out what that text says, the rest of it there. Somebody help me out in the comments. But yeah, still a cool sight. Like, pulling the avatar to that location, to this location is really cool. So yeah, I'd be curious to see like a specific deck, that wants to use this card. But it'd be so, like, circumstantial, But I could see it being used. It's unique. It's gonna be one of those unique sites, kind of like the Dome of Osiris. It's like, oh yeah, it's useful, it's fun, it's good, it can be useful in certain situations, but most of the time you're just not going to use it, and it's like, why? Kind of wish it wasn't unique. So, but yeah, City of Glass, a unique site where dreams are made or shattered. City of Glass. If you have Air Threshold, it provides 2. If you currently have Air Threshold elsewhere, it provides 2 mana instead of 1, but is destroyed when damaged. So, no lightning bolt will damage this or anything, of course. It's kind of, I think, a newbie question. But, so yeah, if an opponent strikes this site, opponent's minion strikes this site, then it gets destroyed. I think it's worth it. I think this is definitely going to be a sought-after site. It's going to be beautiful in foil. People are going to love this in foil. In air, if you're playing aggro, then like you just want the 2 mana for a couple turns, and then you don't care if it gets attacked. If this side is getting attacked, then and you are playing air aggro, I don't think you're where you want to be in the first place. So, and it's probably late in the game. So this is a really good card. You'll see this played in like definitely every aggro air deck for sure. This will be played. Mid-range air decks, yeah, I think so. Even in mid-range air decks. I mean, it's gonna suck if somebody plays a Saracen Raiders and attacks it and then it gets destroyed. But I think it's just very powerful. And just having this consistent like extra mana every turn is very powerful. So this is definitely gonna be played a lot, and it's gonna be a sought-after card for sure, especially in foil. Road to Perdition. Genesis. Target nearby evil gains or loses 1 power this turn. So like Genesis, kill, like if you're using it aggressively or defensively, like Genesis kill a skeleton token or something like that. Deserts are just better, right? Um, Actually, it doesn't even do the desert thing. It just loses power. It's not amazing. It's in fire. Like, I think I'd rather just always have a desert, especially with Tawnies going around. I don't think I really care about pumping up my dudes as much as I care about clearing the way so my dudes can attack and not get killed easily by a Tawny plus a trinket. So I think Road to Perdition is just like not going to be played, which is a shame, because it has this cool Ian Miller artwork on it. In Limited, I think you would for sure want to draft this card around the middle of a pack, because middle of a round, I mean, because it can help you remove a minion. You know, you pump up one of your dudes, remove one of their minions, and then keep yours. That's important in Limited. Attrition is extremely important in Limited, so staying on top of the tempo is really good. And so, yeah, I like that. Plague Pits, an elite site to burn out the blight. Cool. Look at that. Ooh, these dudes look crazy. Genesis, if there are 3 or more dead minions, banish all cemeteries. It's just a wild sight. I think, I don't know, it's elite. It banishes all cemeteries. Is it better than what we already have to banish things from cemeteries and fire? We're staying at 30 card Atlas, so I don't know. I honestly, I don't think this replaces Funeral Pyre. I think this is a worse Funeral Pyre. And it's elite. Funeral Pyre is exceptional. Banish all cemeteries with 3 or more dead minions. I could see it as a one-of, maybe. Like, you want to see it late game, you don't want to see it early. But, I don't know. I don't generally like cards like that. Sites like that, where it's like, oh, you basically want to top deck it at this, you know, and it'd be like this cool thing that you top deck at the right time. Later in the game. And fire? Maybe. I think it's very meta dependent. And I think that Funeral Pyre is probably just still better. Consecrated Ground. So this is the opposite of Desecrated Ground. Evil has no power here. So really cool site. It's kind of meta dependent. Yeah, you would play it forward and then their evil minions can't attack here. I don't really think this replaces... We have so many good Earth sites, you know. I mean, you don't play Gnome Hollows in Earth decks that play with unicorns and phalanxes and stuff like that, so maybe you put this in those decks. But I'm still not sure. It would have to be a meta that is so dominated by the Undead deck to be able to play this card and not want something else over it. Like, you know, Quagmire, and Gnome Hollows, or even Holy Ground, Pillar of Zyros, Pebbled Paths. There's just too many Earth sites that you want over it. Fields of Fixes. An exceptional site of Smothering Serenity. The site directly in front is silenced. This is a really good card. Everybody's excited about this because it will silence a Gnome Hollows. It will silence a Perilous Bridge. It will allow you to keep doing your aggro things. So, yeah, it's a really good card. Fields of Fixes, exceptional. It'll be played at a theater near you. The Base of Babel, an exceptional site, Foundation or Folly. So it's so cool to see this card back. I was here testing alpha when this card was being tested. We had the Tower of Babel was like 2 different cards, the base and the top. I think back then all it did was like give extra mana, something like that. Yeah, just it gave extra mana. I would be surprised if it still did that. We don't know what the top looks like yet. We don't have that spoiler. But I wanted to focus on the text here some. You may build the Tower of Babel, all capitalized, by playing the Apex of Babel atop this. So when you play the Apex of Babel, what is the Tower of Babel? Does the Base of Babel and the Apex of Babel, do both of these sites get replaced by an oversized card? I don't think so. I'm wondering if you get a free artifact, but it doesn't say from your collection, but maybe it's just because there's not enough text here. I'm wondering if there's going to be an artifact called the Tower of Babel, and then you bring that artifact in from your collection. That would be cool. If you can build the Tower of Babel, an artifact on here, and then that Tower of Babel does something, that is sweet. I do like that a lot. I hope that's the case. Because that would be cool. And then, you know, what does the Tower of Babel do? It's capitalized. There's something called the Tower of Babel. Is it an artifact or is it a oversized site? I don't know. I think it's an artifact, personally. And I think that's going to be awesome. If you can build it. Troubled Town. Like this card. Troubled Town, ordinary site of locked doors and wary hearts. Genesis, you may cast a townsfolk from your collection to this site. I don't know if we have townsfolk yet. I haven't looked. Or I don't remember. Townsfolk is just going to be like a minion. I believe we do. Don't we have townsfolk? It's like a small minion. So yeah, Genesis, you may cast townsfolk from your collection site. Just another one of those sites that let you cast a minion from your collection. This one doesn't provide threshold though, so that's kind of meh. Forsaken Crypt. Good limited card though, by the way. Good limited card. Forsaken Crypt, here's another one. You can cast your ghoul from your collection. Really like this artwork. Love to see this purple in foil. Moving on to Ersatzplatz. An elite site of unsettling pillars and slats. Does that say slats? I think. You can play an exceptional site from your collection here, banishing this site. So, I know some people are high on this site. I am not. When it comes out, it doesn't give you any threshold, and then you have to wait a turn to play another site from your collection here. So then you basically have to skip. You have to skip a turn of adding to your mana, or I mean, you do get the extra mana that turn, but you have to skip a turn of adding sites to your board, and or like drawing a site. It kind of reminds me of like Mirage. It doesn't give threshold. You can play an exceptional site from your collection here. It's not a Genesis. It just says you may play here. So you can only play one site per turn. So you're gonna have to wait until the next turn to play a site here. I don't. By then, I mean, what are you gonna play? Like, it's only an exceptional site. What exceptional site do you want like a turn late? And then sacrificing one of your site draws. I don't think this is a very playable card. I don't know why people are excited about it personally, but happy to be wrong. I think it gives up too much tempo. Grief Larvae. Larvae. I can't remember how to say that. Ordinary monsters begotten from rot. Burrowing. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to this site. Here's another one of those cards that deals damage to the site. I can't wait to see what the rest of the set looks like, because there's got to be something. Like, dealing damage to yourself, it's got to benefit you somehow with some sort of mechanic or some sort of card or something. I don't know. We'll see. Hellhounds is just a vanilla 3 for 3. Shackled Demon. Late Demon buys his time. Disabled until an adjacent spellcaster taps to release him. It's just not a good card in red. I don't know what spellcaster you're going to be having out that you want to tap to release this guy. But he has 4 mana for 5 power, so that's huge. And it's only 1 fire threshold. Like, you could like turn 3 tower, play him out. Maybe you have an aggro deck and you don't really care. Like, you're just dumping minions out and you don't care that you have to tap your avatar to unshackle him, to release him. Yeah, I mean, maybe. He might be playable in an aggro deck. He might be. And like, if you draw him on turn 5 or 6, like, you're very happy. Like, you're not, unless you're playing Sorcerer. Oh wait, I'm a dummy. This is another Druid card. Oh man. This is another card for Druid. What the heck? Druid's just getting, it's just getting stronger, I think. You just have Tawny out and you just tap Tawny to release them. Jeez. Yeah, this is playable in Druid, for sure. Flaming Skull, 2 mana for 2 power. Airborne Fire Spellcaster, Flaming Skull. This is just a, I mean, even in limited, I don't know if I care about this card. 2 for 2. I don't think so. I'm going to look for other stuff in limited, like stuff like this. Redmane Hyena, 2 for 2. Genesis banish up to 3 cards from cemeteries. If any are demons, this becomes a demon and gains +2 power permanently. That's pretty darn good. 2 for 2 is already, it's okay. I like that it's a beast. I don't know why I like it, but maybe because I play beast deck right now. It's a fun little combo deck. But 2 for 2, banish up to 3 cards. It gains +2 permanently. Like, that's. But I mean, you have to play it with the demon deck. Yeah, it's definitely good. It's awesome in the demon deck, obviously. And it's good against demons too. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Searing Truth, 3 mana, 2 fire threshold, exceptional magic of Infernal Inquiry. Target player draws and reveals 2 spells and takes damage equal to the higher mana cost. I love this card. This card is so good, and I think it's so needed, especially going up to 60 spells in your spellbook. This is awesome. I love that they printed this card, and I don't know why people are so against it. I mean, it does suck that it kind of bypasses Death's Door, but there are a lot of cards that bypass Death's Door if you use it against your opponent. But again, something that deals damage to you if you use it for yourself. But yeah, I want to play more a different variety of control decks. So I like seeing this card draw on fire. We have Pact with the Devil. We have Morgana. Now we're going to have Searing Truth. So this is really looking good for burn decks. We don't really have a solid, reliable burn deck right now. So I think that this is cool. And the fact that we have a card like this that's supporting burn tells me we're probably going to have more life gain cards in Gothic. So hopefully, anyway. So I love that card. I love that it's opening up a new archetype. And burn will be an archetype with this card going around. I mean, we're going up to 60 spells, so that sucks, but I still think people are going to be playing burn now. Mazuj Ifrit. An elite demon scorns its master. Airborne, at the start of your turn, you lose 2 life. It's just, come on, man, that's a lot. But dang, 3 mana for 4 power in the air? Holy smokes. And it's at the start of your turn, you lose 2 life, so you don't lose it right away. Yeah, this is a good card. I do like this one. 3 mana for 4 power. Airborne. 4 power in the air. That's good. That one's going to see a lot of play, I think. But, I mean, it's every single turn you lose 2 life, though. But I don't know. 3 mana for 4 power. If your opponent's, like, letting you untap with that, like, and getting hit over and over again by this thing. I don't know. I think it'll be played in the aggro deck for sure. Okay, so Archangel Samael. 5 mana, 4 fire, 4 power. Unique Angel Punisher of the Impure. Airborne Ward. So we didn't know what Ward did when this first got revealed, but now that we know what Ward does, this became so much better. Genesis players lose 1 life for each evil minion they control or in their cemetery. It's just like a crazy good card against the demon deck. Too bad it's not defensive though. Like, you're not like gaining life, you're just like making your opponent lose life. Like if they're playing like a demon deck, or if they're playing like the undead deck and their cemetery is full of minions, like they've been like just throwing out minions, throwing out minions at you, and you've been killing them, trying to survive, maybe playing control. I don't know. Making them lose life is not really like a priority at the moment, But I mean, it's good. It's just, I don't know. The synergy feels a little bit off, I guess. I feel like this minion, like, this could have been like better in like Earth or something, and then like if it let you gain life. And maybe there is an Earth counterpart. I don't know. But yeah, this is kind of like a very specific, like, you wouldn't want to play it unless like there's a specific meta and you have a very specific deck type. So, but I do like that as Ward. Like, if it has Ward, like 5 mana for 4, like that's already good. But it requires 4 fire, so like you're in like mono fire, probably, or like mostly fire splash some other color. But then you get this thing that's hard to remove, that has 4 power and airborne. Like, that's cool. Like, that by itself is already cool. So I might see play just for that. And then this Genesis effect is just like a bonus thing. It's interesting, like when you're thinking about Death Speaker, but Death Speaker mono fire or like heavy fire. I don't know, maybe that could be a thing in this in Gothic. Demonic Contract. Search your spellbook for any card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle afterward. Except read the fine print. You may only search for a spell that has rarity lower or equal to a demon minion that you control. As an additional cost to cast Demonic Contract, you must pay 4 life, or reach another accord with said demon by sacrificing a coin, an egg, frog, gem, goat, treasure or mortal, I can't read this one. Yeah, so you have to sacrifice something, pay 4 life. Sacrifice something or pay 4 life. You may only search for a spell that has rarity lower or equal to a demon minion that you control. It's so specific. Rarity lower or equal to a demon minion you control. Search a spell for any card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and shuffle afterward. I mean, it'll definitely be played. It's just like having a... You'll probably have to pay 4 life a lot of times. Like, you probably won't have something that you want to sacrifice. Frog. I guess the frog would be one of the easiest things to sacrifice. Or mortal. No soldier token. Yeah, it goes into a specific deck, you know. I guess I see it played more in like an Earthfire deck. Like an Earthfire mid-range maybe deck. You have the Pudge Butcher. He's a big demon. So is the rarity lower or equal to? Oh, it's rarity though. So yeah, I don't know. Like, there's so many good ordinary cards. Like, I feel like Toolbox is just a better card, by far. So I'm not sure about Demonic Contract. Maybe it's a 1-of. We'll see about that one. Hot Wheel, 4 mana for 2 power. Genesis rolls forward 2 steps, striking another unit at each location it enters. This is a really good limited card. I love it in limited. I don't think it really is going to see play in constructed at all, though. It is undead, though. So if you play this in Earthfire with the Undead Knight, it comes out and it has 3 power, rolling forward 2 steps, striking another unit, then yeah, this does see some play. But it is 4 mana. It's fighting over a lot of other units that are also very good. So, I don't know. Definitely got some Dark Souls vibes, though, right? But yeah, it's a cool card. Maybe it's a 1-of. I like it also in it's kind of cool in Death Speaker because you'll get the thing, rolls forward 2 steps, strike another unit. Yeah, I like that it has this Genesis effect, so it'll see some play, but no, I don't think it'll see a ton of play, but it could just be one of those oppressive things in the Undead deck that just always like clearing the way so Undead can attack in. This says it rolls 2 steps, striking another unit at each location it enters. So it won't strike at the site where you play it, but it will strike at the 2 steps it rolls, the 2 spaces it rolls into. And it has to strike. You have to choose a unit, even if it's your ally. So that's one downside to it. Yeah, I'll have to see about that. Summon 2 Hellhounds from your collection to your avatar's location. They gain charge this turn. This is Release the Hound, 7 mana. Charge is really powerful. Getting 2 things out, 6 power with charge for 7 mana. I think this will see some play in a certain deck. Possibly the what's it called? Flamecaller? Don't the hounds? Do the hounds require double fire? No, it's only single, 1 fire. Okay. Well, I guess not. Not Flamecaller. But I don't know. 6 power charge is pretty good. Like, there's got to be something that wants to do that. 6 power charge is good. So 7 mana for 6 damage, basically. You're going to surprise attack. Or take out a couple of minions. Like, maybe they have 2-3 power minions. You pay 7 mana, take out things. It's 7, though. I mean, it's fighting over a place like with Major Explosion. I think 7 is just a little bit too high a price. If it was 6, oh, absolutely. Like, you'd see this play for sure. At 7 mana, I don't know. I think it'd be a specific deck again that would want this. And they are demons, so maybe that will play a role in its playability. Day of Judgment, we talked about this card already. It sucks. I don't want to be rude. Place across anywhere in the realm, banish evil and damage units occupying affected squares. It's just not good. It's like, I don't know why it's unique. This is literally just a limited playable card. Even if the Undead deck was popular, I still would not play this card. It's just not good enough. It's not better than Major Explosion. It says banish, but banish evil and damage. Banish evil and damage units occupying affected squares. So yeah, it hits underground, underwater. Yeah, could kill like frogs and stuff. Yeah, maybe I'm underestimating it. It really depends on the meta. if there are a lot of frog decks and a lot of skeleton token decks and a lot of demon decks, yeah, I mean, at that point, if you really need to go underground, sure. This might be the ticket. Why is it unique, though? Like, it's very specific. Should be elite. Hate that it's unique. Ravenous Werewolf. Charge. Movement plus 1. 5 mana for 3 power. This is going to be one of those cards that you'll probably you'll draft around the middle of a round and around the middle of the pack in draft. Charge movement plus 1. It's pretty good. 5 mana. 3 power is a little low. So you can't just like kill another 3 power thing and then untap next turn. It's just going to trade for 5 mana, so that's not great. But, you know, you might want to fill out your deck, you know, with a couple of these guys to get in that extra damage, you know, later in the game, later in the match. So I could see him getting some limited play. But he won't see constructive play at all. Cursed Iron. 2 mana, elite aura to punish the possessive. Artifacts here can't be dropped, and each deals 1 damage to its bearer at the end of each turn. Yeah, it's a cool aura. I think it's a bit too specific, and I think it was better. This aura would have been better in like Alpha Beta era, and then maybe in AL as well. But now that we have cards like Swap and other things I'm not remembering, I'm not sure people are piling up artifacts. And then also they can just move out of this. Artifacts that can be dropped and each deals 1 damage to its bearer at the end of each turn. They can just move out of the aura, so I don't know about this. And I play Enchantress a lot. It's only 2 mana. With only a semi-relevant ability or effect. I don't think that I would even play this in Enchantress. Unless there are a bunch of artifacts people are carrying in this next in Gothic, then yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe there can be a bunch of artifacts everybody's carrying. But usually it's like Battle Mage or Pathfinder who wants to be carrying artifacts, and this thing, they're just going to get out of the way of this thing, so it won't matter. But I guess in Enchantress, if you're moving this back on top of them, and they're taking like several damage each turn on top of this thing attacking, but then it's only 2 power, so just dies to violent or something too. Artifacts here can't be drawn if each deals 1 damage to its bearer. Yeah, it's interesting. It could keep you from forcibly having to drop your artifacts, but I don't think swap doesn't make you drop it, it just swaps it, so. Alright, Noxious Corpse, lethal, 2 for 2. Seen it before. 1 mana, Carrion Beetles, 1 power, Burrowing, Ordinary Beast, Genesis banish 3 cards from 1 cemetery. Maybe in a Death Speaker deck. I don't think this sees play in any other deck. This probably could go into a this would go into a collection and be played in conjunction with the Toolbox. Toolbox is an artifact that costs 2. You sacrifice it, and then you can grab an ordinary spell from your collection. I can see this in someone's collection. Crawler, 3 mana for 3 power. Projectiles fly over Crawler. What a creepy dude. Projectiles fly over Crawler. I think this is, you know, probably just for limited play. That's pretty much it. I don't think you play this even in the Undead deck, honestly. It's just not quite good enough. In Constructed, I mean. Buried Alive, 3 mana. Maybe cast by an ally, any ally. Burrow, target adjacent minion. This is just a limited card, you know. Bury is just better. Bury doesn't require 2 Earth threshold and can go anywhere. So this is just for limited play. Some removal for draft and sealed. Entombed, 2 mana, 3 power. Burrowing, must be cast burrowed. It's just a worse boss troll. So yeah, I don't like that guy at all. I don't even know if do I play him in limited? I don't think so, because he has to come up. I don't know. Maybe if I was filling out my deck, I would play him for sure. And I just had nothing else to play, but I'm not going to draft him before, like, maybe I draft him like 10th pick or 11th pick, something like that. Kroll Morlocks, Burrowing Voidwalk. Now this guy, definitely like him. He's 3 power unlimited, 3 power for 3 mana. Throw him in the void and attack from the void. That's cool. I like him in limited. He's 3. I like any 3 power for 3 in limited, really. All this stuff is just bonus. But he doesn't see any constructed play. Search Party, another 3 for 3, 2 Earth. I don't know why these have two earth. Why these require 2 earth threshold? Like they're limited cards. I hate when cards that are mostly for limited require double. Oh, you guys can see this. Burrowing Voidwalk and then Scroll Morlocks. I hate when these cards require double earth threshold when they're mainly for limited. So I think Search Party is another one. Ordinary Mortals has +1 power for each search party in your cemetery. It's gonna be really cool and limited because you don't have a limit to how many of each card you can play. So you can, draft multiples of these and play with like 5 or 6 of them. Or if you open a sealed pool and you have like 5 or 6 of these, that'd be crazy. I don't think that would happen, but if it did, that'd be pretty awesome. I think it's just another limited card. Doesn't really get played in Constructed, especially with a 60 card deck. There's just no way you're seeing a lot of these guys often enough. Gravedigger, 2 mana, 2 power, Genesis, Burrow, target adjacent, Undead. Another card for limited. Thankfully, it only requires 1 earth. 1 mana. Oh yeah, here's the Townsfolk. Ethan Townsfolk. And maybe there are other ones, I don't know. But yeah, I like that. So this is only 1 mana for 2 power. So that side up there, the Troubled Town, I think it was. It's colorless, but you only pay 1 mana when this comes out and you get a 2 power guy. So it's just like an upgraded village. Or any of those other sites that you pay 1 to get a 1 power dude. This is pay 1 to get a 2 power dude. So I actually like that. The Troubled Town. I think it was it ordinary or was it exceptional? It was ordinary. Ooh. Ordinary? Pay 1 to get a 2 power dude? For free? Or like just for 1 mana? Like this is cool. Like this is gonna see a lot of play, I think, in certain aggro decks. 2 color, 1 color aggro decks, I think. That's a good card. Troubled Town. You get this thing. But you still have to meet the threshold though. So I don't know, maybe there are townsfolk in other colors. Noisome Twosome. 2 mana, 2 power, Deathrite, summon a skeleton token here. I like any minion that replaces itself with another minion. I do. So I think that Noisome Twosome in the Undead deck is easily playable. Because it replaces itself. Does it? But I mean, it fights over the 2 mana slot for other things. But I mean, what are you playing in that slot? Like Boss Troll? In the Undead deck, this might be better than Boss Troll. Especially since there are certain sacrifice effects, things that you want to sacrifice minions for, to do the other things. So you can sacrifice this minion, get another thing, and then you can sacrifice that thing to do another thing. So this card is going to see some play in certain decks, for sure. I like the card a lot. Barrel White, 2 mana for 2 power, Burrowing, 2 mana, spend 2 mana, sacrifice a skeleton token, see? See? Summon this minion from your cemetery to that site. Oh. Summon this minion from your cemetery to the site for 2 mana, sacrifice a skeleton token. Yeah, this is another limited card, I think. I don't think you play this in Constructed. Pretty sure you don't. Here's the Death Knight that we've been talking about this whole time. Should have had him at the top. Other nearby undead allies have +1 power. So really cool. I wonder if we're gonna... The dead will follow you. No. It says undead allies. I was wondering if we can get like an undead avatar, but I don't think so. Avatars don't have subtypes, as far as I know. So, Death Knight, exceptional commander of the undead. So really cool. This is going to enable the Earth Air undead decks. So that's pretty fun. You can also play with the other minion that we already have. That gives +1 power to nearby allies. Although he's only 2 power, so. Alright, so Cemetery Rats, spend 1 to get 1 power. Burrowing, Genesis, discard your top 2 spells. So this is a Reanimator deck enabler. So I like this. Especially if you're playing like a Death Speaker Reanimator deck. It's really cool. You can fill up your cemetery. Honestly, just in a Death Speaker deck, like just putting stuff in your cemetery could be cool. I don't think you play this in like Archimago to put stuff in your cemetery. That's dumb. But in a Death Speaker deck, this is pretty cool. Or in specifically a Reanimator deck, this is pretty cool. So I like that utility. I like utility cards. Necromancer, tap, player draw site once your turn, but pay 1 to summon a skeleton token here. So turn 1 play a site, summon a skeleton. Turn 2 play a site, summon a skeleton. If you play one of those other sites, like the Townsfolk thing, you can turn 1 play a skeleton. Turn 2 pay 1 to summon a skeleton, and then pay another 1 to summon a 2 power Townsfolk. Now you have 4 power out already on turn 2. You just keep it going. That's pretty fun. I think that's gonna be cool. So like even if you're stuck on threshold, like if you don't have threshold, like you're just dumping out freaking an army of undead and possibly townsfolk. That's cool. Necromancer's really good. I'm excited to see what happens with Necromancer, especially with like Death Knight. That's cool. Novice Necromancer, 2 mana, 1 power, spellcaster, Genesis, summon a skeleton token here. Yeah, this is another one of those cards. You know, it's getting out multiple minions. Like if you're going to be playing with effects that care about having multiple minions out, then you know this is good. And maybe we finally see a Cult Ritual combo. Standing Stones, Standing Stones, right? Nobody ever plays it, so I've forgotten what it's called now. But yeah, just dump all these tokens out, and put them on Standing Stones. Minions here are spellcasters, and then oh wait, am I crazy? Oh, I'm saying it right. Yeah, gain 2 mana this turn for each allied spellcaster here. That's a Cult Ritual. So yeah, dump all of your tokens out on the Standing Stones, and then gain 2 mana for each token that you have out there. Maybe we'll finally see a Cult Ritual combo. That would be awesome. I think we will. I will do it if nobody else will. I will do a Cult Ritual, Standing Stones, zombie combo, skeleton combo. Master Necromancer, 5 mana, 2 power. The dead stir around this elite mortal. Spellcaster, Genesis, summon a skeleton token to each other adjacent site. So, 5 mana to get a 2 power dude, plus most likely 4 more little skeleton tokens. It's cool. It's good. 5 mana for probably 5 bodies with 6 power. That is pretty good. It's so hot. There's a lot of other things that are putting out tokens. But I guess that's what you want. We're going to 60 card spellbook, so you just fill it up, you know? Put all this junk in there that pumps out all these tokens and fill it up. That other card is definitely... I like the other card better. It's 3 mana, and then you get a token to each adjacent location of an enemy, so you can just throw them over on your opponent's side. I like that better. You're paying 2 mana for, you know, just an extra 2 power body. Sometimes maybe an extra 1 power body as well. I like the other one better, but this is still cool. And it's Genesis, so again, Genesis with Death Speaker. This would be pretty cool. But I don't know if you're playing... Are you playing Undead with Death Speaker and not Necromancer? Maybe. I do like it actually in Death Speaker. It's kind of like when you play guards in Archimago. It's kind of like that for Death Speaker. Like summon a skeleton they're in each other adjacent site, so you're pumping out dudes. Maybe they're just going to be blockers. It's pretty cool. Yeah, I do like this card. It's going to see some play. It's going to see some play for sure. And it's a spellcaster. So, alright, so here's the card that I'm kind of annoyed with. And I know everybody's excited about this card. I don't know about everybody. Some people. It's annoying because of what it's 2 mana. It's an artifact. It's colorless. And you don't have to tap to use its ability. You just sacrifice the artifact. Bearer may cast an ordinary spell from your collection. That's it's just busted. Really, like people were complaining about common sense back in alpha and beta, we were complaining about common sense. People are complaining about common sense now because of the way it's played with Archimago. But now, now we're getting sites. We're getting the ways to like combat Archimago. We're getting the site that limits deck searching. But I don't think it matters. Like Toolbox is better than common sense. The reason why is with common sense, when you're playing common sense, sometimes you don't know what you want to get. So you don't really want to play common sense on turn 2. You're tempted to every time, especially if you don't have a good turn 2 play, but you don't want to. You want to hold common sense just in case you might want to get Dispel instead of Bury. Or maybe you want to get a Bury instead of Dispel. Maybe you want to get a minion. Like, I don't know, like what you want to. Maybe you want to get a burn spell, something to finish the game, a grapple shot. You don't know yet. So you're always torn. Like on turn 2, you don't have anything to play other than common sense. Do I play common sense or do I not play common sense? That's always going through my head whenever I'm in that situation. With Toolbox, you don't have to worry about it. You just play it. You always play Toolbox on turn 2. If you have it, and you don't have and you're not playing aggro, you're not putting on a boss troll or something, you play Toolbox. And then later, when you know what you want, you don't have to pay the 2 mana later. You can just sacrifice it, cast a spell from your collection, whatever you want, and then be able to do something else on that turn as well. So Toolbox is just good. It's an automatic. We're going up to 60 spells, okay? Toolbox is an automatic 3 of in every single deck. That isn't like Hyper Aggro. Hyper Aggro doesn't want to be spending 2 mana on an early turn doing this. But anything that's not Hyper Aggro, you just play 3 of these automatically. I don't like that. It reminds me of when Kaladesh came out in Magic, and everybody was playing 4X Smuggler's Copters. Smuggler's Copters. Everybody had Smuggler's Copters. It got banned because everybody had Smuggler's Copters. It allowed you to loot. It allowed you to discard, draw a card to like loot to get to other cards and stuff. It's very similar to. I mean, Smuggler's Copter would also, attack for 3, but still, it's this is the same kind of thing. Like everybody just has to play with 3 of these, and you get to go and loot your collection for whatever you want. So yeah, very kind of irritated about this card. It's just another card that's just like, oh, I have to have 3 of these in every deck I make now. Because I personally really don't like Hyper Aggro. I try not to play it. And now it's just like all 3. Like I'm happy that I have this, selection that it's going to make decks more consistent. But it's kind of like counterintuitive to the why are we going up to 60 card spell books? Like the whole point of going up to 60 card spell books was to try to make like every single game like a different experience and to make it more volatile. And I guess to have less consistency. One of the reasons why both Druid and Archimagal are so good is because of consistency. That's like the primary reason both of them are so good is because they are very consistent. And Toolbox will make all the other decks consistent. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't like when the deck builds itself. I don't like that. I don't like when I have to play cards because you're dumb not to. So, but that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people are happy to see this card, and I'm obviously going to enjoy using it to get that thing that I need at that time that I need it. But yeah, it limits diversity. So, Foul Bones, 1 mana, 1 power, airborne, 1 sacrifice a skeleton token, summon Foul Bones from your cemetery there, just for airborne. No thanks. I do not care about airborne that much on a 1 power minion. Not even in limited. 2 mana, Flame of the First Ones, a unique relic kindled in Exodus. Whenever the flame stops at a new site, you heal 1 and your opponents lose 1 life. This is obviously designed for Pathfinder, in my opinion. But also Battle Mage, whenever you flame starts at a new site, you heal 1. Yeah, I think more Pathfinder. I really think that's kind of the only place for this card. I guess it needed to be unique. I'm not sure, but I don't think it's going to be very expensive unique. 2 mana. Yeah, I just don't think so. So it's going to see very limited play. Unless we get new avatars. Actually, we could get new avatars that use this. Who, move around and stuff. So we don't even know. Carrionet, 3 mana. 2 air. Exceptional magic of Stitch and String. Summon an undead minion from a cemetery to a nearby location. This is a cool card, you can pull an undead from your opponent's cemetery. I don't think it's very playable and constructed. I think, I really want to get, maybe my Undead Knight back. So maybe I play, a 1-of and an Earth Air Undead deck. I could see that. But other than that, I don't really care too much about this. Maybe a 2-of since we're going to 60 spells. To bring back something like Undead Knight. But yeah. It's very, very specific, use case. So here's the Ghoul, 3 mana for 3 vanilla Ghoul that comes out from your collection with a lot of other cards, or with certain other cards. Second Wind, 1 mana, ordinary magic. An allied minion takes a step. You may cast a spell from your cemetery, banishing it afterward. It's a utility card. I like utility cards. You can make something take 2 steps, by casting it and casting it again. It could be useful in a certain deck, So it's just good to have a card like that, another utility card. Is it better than Blink? No, it's not. So maybe nobody's gonna care. But who knows? For a specific situation, might be interesting. Silver Bullet, an elite relic, pinpoints the problem. Bearer has tap, sacrifice Silver Bullet. This unit may cast an exceptional spell from your collection. See, this one requires you to tap. Bear has tap, sacrifice Silver Bullet. This unit may cast an exceptional spell from your collection. I think that toolbox is just like there are so many good ordinary spells. Like, which exceptional spells do you really want to like exclude from your main deck and put into your collection, so that then you can tap to sacrifice Silver Bullet to get it? I mean, I'm sure there are a few, but I don't know. Having to tap to go get it and cast it. This will be played sometimes, but not as much as Toolbox. Like I said, I wish Toolbox was a tap. If you had to tap, that'd be better. It's colorless. You should have to tap to use Toolbox. Stitched Abomination, 7 mana, star power, an elite undead straining at the seams. Genesis, banish up to 3 minions from one cemetery to stitch together. This abomination has their combined power, but each part may be damaged and destroyed separately. So it may be damaged and destroyed separately. So that's going to be like your opponent like choosing each part to damage and destroy separately. This doesn't get like the abilities or anything of the minions. It just gets its power. So it's 7 mana for, you know, a big dude to come out. Maybe I would say that if you have him like in like a mid-rangey deck, like Earth Air or something like that, he'll probably come out as like maybe something like 12 power, 7 mana for 12 power, or something like that. It could be powerful, but it's 7 mana. And then he like loses pieces. I don't know. I don't think that's what you want to be doing for 7 mana in the mid-range deck. But he's so big. Now, if there was a card that lets you like sacrifice one of your minions and deal damage equal to its power to like to dome your opponent, like Fling and Magic, then yeah, this thing would be, you know, definitely playable in that instance. I mean, we have Grapple Shot, which is sort of like that, but 7 mana, it's pretty late in the game, and then you're not going to pay 7 and then pay 3 on the same turn. So, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. I can see somebody throwing one in the deck. Just a big dude. 2 mana, 2 power, Willing Tribute. No ordinary offering, 1 mortal soul. No ordinary offering, 1 mortal soul. Sacrifice, untap an adjacent evil ally. It's pretty cool. I like that it's evil and not just like undead or demon. Really cool artwork and everything, but being able to untap your Pudge Butcher or your vampire, or any other evil, like for only 2 mana, and then you can do it like later. You can pay to get your little 2 power guy out there, and then just like wait until later to do it when you want to. I mean, it's a cool card. It's a really good card, and I'm excited to see what happens here. Like being able to play it on turn 2, play aggressive with it, and so what if it dies? If you got like 2 damage, you know, you got to attack off with it, and then like later, now it's like you're top decking it. And it's 2 mana for 2. Now, oh man, I only top deck a 2 mana for 2 power, or 2 power for 2 mana. Oh, but you can sacrifice it to untap your big thing that you have out. I do like that a lot. This is a really cool card. Another really awesome ordinary card. Skeleton Mage, Spellcaster, Genesis. You may cast an ordinary magic from, I think it's your cemetery, banishing it afterward. Let me actually, I forgot about this. You may cast an ordinary magic from a cemetery, banishing it afterward. Any cemetery, you can cast an ordinary magic. So I like this a lot. I mean, this is cool, especially in Deathspeaker. But even outside of Deathspeaker, it's kind of like sort of like a common sense toolbox effect. But you also get a one power spellcaster out of it. That seems pretty good. So 2 mana, you just search either cemetery to cast an ordinary magic. Seems pretty good. Obviously, if people are playing less common sense, more toolbox, then you're gonna have less magic in cemeteries. But it's still like, but you do have to meet the threshold of the spell. That's the only downside. If you're playing mono air with this, and your opponent's playing mono fire, you're not gonna be able to recast their fire bolts. So you gotta keep that in mind. I think this spell is better in a 2-color to 3-color deck, but like Deathspeaker, it's pretty good in Deathspeaker. It's like crazy good in Deathspeaker. Deathspeaker can only cast minions, and usually only got effects from it. Now Deathspeaker with this card, Deathspeaker kind of becomes sort of Archimago like like it doesn't get to recast poison though in Divine Healings, but like what other ordinary Maybe we're getting some more ordinary spells that gain life or something. I don't know. But this seems like it's going to be a really good, really cool addition to Death Figure decks, at least. At the very least. Dreadwing. Oh, wait. You couldn't read this. Jeez. Could you? Yeah, you could. Dreadwing, 5 mana for 4 power. Airborne. Genesis strikes your avatar unless you discard a card. Yeah, just I mean, it's another card that lets you discard, like for Reanimator and stuff. It is 5 mana. It's just too late. So I don't know. Again, like if we gain something from getting hit, from taking damage, then sure. But otherwise, what the heck? Every single demon has to deal damage to its controller. Friggin' demons. We'll see what happens with this one. This one's definitely gonna need a build around. Like I would not want to play this even in limited. It's gonna strike me for 4 when I play it. What the heck? Yeah. It's a weird card. Desecrator Kite. Man, this is cool. Jesse Pilkus. An ordinary monster with frightening flight, airborne. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to this site. So you had another. This is a monster this time that deals damage to the site. It's gonna hit you first, but then once you get over to your opponent's side, it's still damage. It's only 1. It's 1 power, 1 mana. But like we already had like the larvae card too that deals one damage to the side. Like there's just so many of these cards that deal damage every turn. It's interesting. I'm just curious to know how that's going to shape up. Like what artifacts, what auras, what other minions are going to work together with that. So yeah, we'll see. Necronomicon Cert. 5 mana, 2 air threshold, elite magic of posthumous performance. Each differently named undead and instrument nearby joins the band to play. Draw a spell for each. I don't know, that's a weird card. Each differently named undead and instrument nearby joins the band to play. I don't really think this is playable. It's like so specific. I definitely would not play this in limited. I don't think I'd play this in constructed either. I'm like, you would need to draw 3 cards to really make this worth it, in my opinion. And I just don't see that happening very often. So, very circumstantial card. Just like I think this is not going to see hardly any play at all. Pay 3 mana. All mortals gone. Double air. Kill all mortals. Unique. I mean, could it be elite, please? I think this should be an elite card. I don't think this needs to be unique. Who's going to be playing an all mortal deck in Gothic? I don't understand why this card is here as a unique. I don't know why this is here. I'm going to hate seeing this card as in my unique slot in draft, and it is only 3 mana. So in draft and sealed, there are going to be mortals going around, okay? So I think in sealed and draft, like, this is probably going to do stuff. But in constructed, I just don't, unique, like, it's going to come up at a random time in your game when you probably won't need it. It's 3 mana. Maybe it hits 1 thing. I'm not seeing a bunch of soldier tokens come out everywhere. I'm seeing a bunch of, skeleton tokens come out everywhere. Maybe because of the townsfolk and stuff. I don't know. But, I'm not sure why this is a unique card right now. Crucifix, 3 mana, an elite relic and quick fix that sticks. Genesis, return each evil minion here to its owner's hand. Evil minions can't enter this location. I'm surprised it's elite. I would expect this to be like exceptional. So I don't like that it's elite. It's hard to use it and build around it, and in a 60 card spell book. I would have liked to see this like be exceptional so we could add it to the collection and use the silver bullet to get it or something like that. And even then, like I'd rather just kill the things if they're my enemies. If I'm using this on my own minions to get Genesis effects, I don't think that's a good idea. All the Genesis effects are deal damage to your face. I mean, unless that's what we want to do. We'll see. Desecrate, 2 mana, 2 air threshold, exceptional magic, and most heinous act. An evil ally strikes its site, then may transform it into a desecrated ground from your collection. So this is the card I was talking about. It becomes a desecrated ground. Desecrated ground says that evil has +1 power there. So really, really cool card, especially for aggressive evil decks. aggressive demons, undead. It's crazy. If you have like 4 skeleton tokens coming in, like you hit a site, turn a desecrated ground, and attack for 8 with 4 skeleton tokens. Because they all get +1 power. So this is a crazy good card. This desecrate. Specifically for aggressive evil decks. I think it only goes into, yeah, it was an evil ally strikes its site. Yeah, so it would only go into those decks. Really cool card for those decks. Bone Spear, 1 mana, 1 air, ordinary magic, concentrated calcium. Sacrifice an undead to shoot a projectile from its location that deals 3 damage. I don't like this card. You have to sacrifice one of your undead, and then you can only shoot the projectile from that location, and it's only 3 damage. Just literally every other Bolts card is better. Bolt card is better than this. But in Limited, I think you'll see this played a lot. So I love it for Limited. I like this. I would definitely choose this. Maybe middle of the pack in Limited. Potentially higher in the pack if there's nothing else to pick. And I knew I was going to be playing Skeletons. Then yeah, or Undead. That's pretty cool. 1 mana, Chorus of Condemnation. Each player chooses another to discard a card. Why is this unique? I don't know why we keep getting these unique cards that are worse than the ordinary cards. Like, what the heck? Because when you play this, you're going to have to discard a card. It's like you play this and discard a card, and your opponent discards a card. Like, yeah, I guess if you're empty-handed after playing this, then you get 1 card out of your opponent's hand. I'd rather play Pith Imp, you know? So I'm not sure about this. Like, and if it's for Reanimator decks, why is it unique? Like, we'll never see it on time. It just will never show up. It'll show up late when you don't need it. It's unique. Any deck you put this in, it's often, more often, going to show up late when you don't want it. You can't even search for it with anything. So, what? It's just like probably going to be the worst unique in the whole set. I don't know why this is a thing. I mean, I can't figure it out. Tell me if you can figure it out in the comments. Because, yeah. Bound Spirit. Disabled unless adjacent to an allied spellcaster. Bound Spirit, ordinary spirit tied to its master. Is this the first spirit? Like, did I miss spirits? I love the spirit decks with evil presence and stuff, and so I think that 4 mana for 4 power, it's not great, but it is another spirit in a 60-card spellbook to play with evil presence. But actually, no, you can't because it's disabled unless adjacent to an allied spellcaster. So, just useless card. It's useless and limited, almost. Entirely useless and limited. Like, it's good for just blocking. You don't really want to be moving your avatar in limited forward. I guess, Druid Spirit. Okay, that's the deck. If you play Spirits in Druid and you have Tawny and stuff, but even then, like, Tawny's not always going to be next to this thing, and it's still only 4 for 4. Like, why? We have 3 mana for 4 power spirits that have downsides. Why wouldn't this be 3 mana? I think then, you could play in like a silence deck or something like that, or you could do something with it. 3 mana for 4 power, disable, yeah. But 4 for 4? That just made the card unplayable. So, Screamer, 3 mana for 3 power. 3 mana for 3 power, and ordinary undead breaks the silence. Genesis, tap, target adjacent enemy minion, and make it take 1 step away. This is a really cool, flavorful card. And I think that this will be heavily played in the undead deck for sure. Like, even if it just did Genesis, make an adjacent enemy minion take a step away, even that would be pretty darn decent. But the fact that it makes it tap, so that then you can attack with whatever other minions you have in place already, that's just so good. It's such a good card. And because the Genesis effect, like, again, you could play this in Death Speaker, and that's just fun. Like, having a card like this that is utility on an efficient stick, 3 for 3 with that utility, a Genesis, and it's ordinary. Like, the ordinary spells are just killing. A lot of the ordinary spells are killing it. And the last card that we have here is Key to the City. It provides 1 mana, and it says Bearer ignores Sight's abilities. I know you can't even read that. This card is so hard to see, but I believe that's what it said. I believe I looked it up. And that's what it said. So Key to the City, Bearer ignores Sight's abilities. and it provides 1 mana. So this is a really good card for Battle Mage. Battle Mage always struggles to get into like Gnome Hollows and or get past Perilous Bridge. So excellent card for Battle Mage. I guess that's really the only avatar, unless we're getting a new avatar that will want it as well. Which I guess if this is coming out in this set, we will. We'll see. That'd be interesting. Another Battle Mage type character, maybe avatar. I'm not sure. So yeah, Key to the City. That's a good card as well. Well, that's it, guys. It is very late. That was a very long video. I think I might speed up the video. Thank you all for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Please don't be afraid to leave comments. I know you won't, to tell me that you disagree with me on this card or that card. I'd love to chat with you about it. So, until next time, ciao!